before that, when he was asked why did he decline all that attention, he said out of respect to Doug Jones. Story goes, when he came in to do his voiceover looping on the movie, he heard my original performance in his earpiece. He saw me on film, and he stepped back and said, "What am I doing here?" That's a gentleman, and that's also a very humble person that you don't find in Hollywood. You know, that went above and beyond what most actors would do and be. So he was hired to do a job, and he did his job very well. But that's why he declined all of the attention, all the press, and didn't want his name in the credits either. So I've never met David Hyde Pierce, but if I do, David, I love you. And he did a great job. He's a wonderful actor. I love watching him and hearing him and everything that he does. He's a wonderful performer. But any actor would be able to tell you that none of us want to see a part of our performance taken away. So when I delivered Abe Sapien to you in its entirety and watched the film with my voice missing, it's disconcerting, and it is. But the good news was that then, the animated films, when David Hyde Pierce declined, they just came and offered it to me. And then so for Hellboy 2, that was my voice for that as well. So basically I just want to get back to being an actor who plays parts and have this voice issue a thing in the past. I don't want to, it's as you can tell, it's a long story, and every time I'm asked about it I have to go break into the entire thing because I don't want to leave details out that make people guessing and leave you with an unclear picture of what happened. But like, yeah, it's been a monkey on my back for 4 years now that I would love that monkey to jump off finally. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dredge up something bad.
No, it's all right. It's out there. Now, who are we talking to, by the way?
YouTube.
Yeah, okay, great.
Don't worry, this has like a zillion hours of recording time, so there's plenty of time. That being said, I noticed in the second Hellboy that your voice is very similar to David Hyde Pierce's in it. Did you have to change the voice from your original interpretation?
Or was when I originally did the first Hellboy movie, I was directed. Now, since my voice was in the running, in the first movie as well, Guillermo's direction to me was to affect a sound that was a little bit like Niles Crane from Frasier, David Hyde Pierce, mixed with a little bit of Hal the Computer from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's what I gave on set. So when David Hyde Pierce came in to voice over me, we sounded very much alike from the get-go. So when I came back to do Hellboy 2 and also my voice in the animated films, I basically gave the same voice I had always given. Because it would have been too confusing for me to have copied David Hyde Pierce copying me. You know what I mean? So it was just better to just, yeah. And thankfully the transition has not left people, I haven't had any negative comments about my voice at all, which has been very, very sweet. Thank you all for that so much. Your support has meant the world to me. So.
Oh yeah, Abe Sapien. Everybody loves that character. That's just a classic, great character. Are there going to be any more Hellboy movies?
We're hopeful. There's always been a plan for Hellboy 3. Yeah.
Excellent.
When we can get to it, and if the studio gives us a thumbs up and a green light, those are things that are yet to be said. So hopefully, hope so.
Okay, let's jump to.
I'm boring you people to tears, aren't I?
No.
Yeah.
I was just making sure nobody else was waiting to talk to you.
Sure.
Let's jump to. I can't remember the name of it now. The one that takes place in Spain.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Thank you.
Labyrinth del Fauno.
So do you speak Spanish?
I did in that movie. Yeah.
Did you have to learn just those lines, and did they teach them to you phonetically or?
Right, because that's a catchphrase, is learning things phonetically if you don't speak the language. I actually learned the language of the film. I did not learn the entire language of Spanish. I can't speak it on the street, but phonetic learning is when you take sounds in and put the sounds back out again, and you don't really have a comprehension of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. For me, I knew that I couldn't give that performance. I don't learn audibly, I learn visually. So on my script, I had a Spanish script right next to my English translation, and I could break down the sentence structure, know what word meant what, and that way I knew exactly what I was saying and exactly what I was hearing back from my co-star, Ivana Baquero. So for that film, I knew exactly, I was speaking Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let someone else have a go.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Your time.
I'm just taking advantage of filming them while nobody else is talking to them. I'm just like, wow,
Now,
great.
promise me you don't put this up in its entirety, right?
I'm going to try. Yeah,
I'm going to try to.
I'm going to have to break it up into bits because they don't let you put up more than 10 minutes at a time.
We'll try to
so
edit.
it'll have to be like.
Would you edit my ugly bits out? Would you do that for me?
I'll edit this part out.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. So you played two parts in. You played two parts in Pan's Labyrinth. The thing that had eyes on its hands,
Yes.
and then the fawn.
Yeah, the fawn was the guy with the ram horn, the goat man, and the pale man, or hombre pálido, the eyes in the hand. And that was me also.
That's just great. Any possibility of a Pan's Labyrinth sequel? No.
I mean, nor should there be.
Nor should there be. Okay.
No, that a piece of art like that needs to be kept intact and preserved, I think, just like it is.
So what projects are you working on now that we'll be
I
seeing
have
you
a ton
in?
of stuff coming up, so much coming up.
It's an old film camera.
I'm going to bore you to tears with titles you haven't heard of and all kinds of things, but right now in theaters, actually it's on its way out now, but Quarantine. I had a cameo at the end of Quarantine.
Sure.
It was a thin infected man was my name in the credits, but I was the reason for the whole problem of the film at the end. So I'm a cameo at the very end of the movie. I did a cameo in a movie called Super Capers. It's a superhero spoof movie that takes where you'll see me as a knockoff of Agent Smith from The Matrix. So it's a very funny movie, directed and produced and written by Ray Griggs, a first-time filmmaker, and he did a smash bang-up job. I did another independent film called My Name is Jerry, which I'm very excited about this one. This I get to play myself. I say not playing a white guy without prosthetic makeup on. And I'm really happy with this. It's a story, it's a coming-of-middle-age story where I play Jerry, who's like facing that reinvention time of life in your 40s where you're like, has my life amounted to anything? Will it amount to anything from this day forward? I don't know. It's a transitional time of life. And I've been through that midlife crisis, so I understood Jerry. And you get to see Jerry going through professional issues with his job world. You get to see him go through family issues when his daughter moves back home for the first time in 10 years. They have to reconnect awkwardly. And him dealing with his own age and his own validity in the world, and he hooks up with some punk rock kids who try to make him hip. So there's some funny. It is a relationship dramedy, and it was written specifically for me by a filmmaker named Morgan Mead, who was a film student out in LA that I met many years ago, and he wrote this film originally specifically for me to play Jerry. So it's been rewritten by David Hamilton and produced and financed and shot at my alma mater, Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. So it was a professional Hollywood film with a college campus student crew. So it was a combining of two worlds. So it was not a student film, it was a professional film with a student crew. And it hadn't been done before. So we were kind of breaking new ground with this, so the whole world of academia was paying attention, like, oh, a professional Hollywood movie shot on a campus? Really? So it's a fun one. I'm boring you to tears. I'm boring myself to tears. Like, my own voice is getting really redundant. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wow, are you a Caligari fan?
I am.
Really, seriously? You see these songs?
I have not.